Happy New Year, everybody. It is January the 2nd, 2025, and this is chapter 2 of my Unstoppable at Any Age video series. And I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball with this video. I've actually added one into the mix, and I think it makes total sense as to the reasons why I'm doing it. In the first video, which if you haven't seen it, check it out, that talked about the mindset of being unstoppable at any age and sort of recalibrating your brain and getting you prepared for the challenge to come and ultimately making a wholesale change in your lifestyle for the years to come so you can take on any challenge that comes before you in your best genetic version of yourself that you can possibly become. And that video, as I said, was mindset, and it gave you a little bit of a preview as to what's coming in the following chapters. It was originally going to be 4 chapters. Well, now it's going to be 5. And I think this plays in very, very well. Being that it is January, I always like to embark on some kind of a challenge. And this challenge is called Burn the Ships. Now, there's another challenge kind of lingering around out there called the Berserker Challenge, if you're interested. I released that challenge in January of 2024, and it is literally a video every single day for 31 days telling you exactly what to do, and it is very difficult, very challenging, and only a small handful of people actually completed that challenge out of the many that entered, but I rebooted it for 2025. I reactivated that whole playlist and all those 31 videos. It is here on the channel. So if that's something you'd like to check out, check that out. But if not, I am personally doing what I'm calling the Burn the Ships Challenge. Now, what does burn the ships mean? Well, the origin of the phrase burn the ships comes from the story of the Spanish conquistador, Cortez, where when he arrived in Mexico, and I think if memory serves, I looked it up, it was like the year 1519 or something like that. When he arrived, he ordered his men to burn the ships. Gut them, burn them to the ground. And what this did, this made sure that there was absolutely no turning back, and to basically give a clear and profound message that we are here to fight or die. And I just love that story, and I love that approach. So the Burn the Ships Challenge is pretty straightforward. It is challenging, but it is scalable and doable. And if you go through the 31-day Burn the Ships Challenge or the Berserker Challenge, it truly will sort of set the course in motion to then progress through what I'm going to outline in this Unstoppable at Any Age series. Well, again, I'm throwing a little wrench into the works, and now chapter 2 is going to be about the challenge. So we're accomplishing a couple goals. We're giving you something to really focus on and refocus with for January 2025, but it's going to be the perfect springboard into moving through the Unstoppable video series to become ultimately your greatest genetic human machine possible. Burn the Ships Challenge is fairly simple. Number 1, no surprise, I'm going to eat nothing but meat and eggs for 31 days. Now, as many of you know, I don't eat just meat, because no tribe, society, culture on earth has ever subsisted long-term on just meat alone. Now, if that works for you, great, and I embrace that, but it doesn't work for many, and so I eat probably about 90, even sometimes 90% meat and eggs through most of my days, but I do incorporate some foods strategically, for the most part, outside of the meat and egg realm, and I'll be explaining that in chapter 3 of my Unstoppable series. But for now, I like the reboot and the reset of just really getting focused on dialing in my nutrition, and I'm trying to lose a few pounds that I've put on in November and December, which is fine. I do that every year, sort of to really push some hormonal output and kind of reset things. But now I really want to peel down for 2025 and really go into my hard training with a lean body, and I'd like to lose about 10 to 13 pounds, and I feel confident that I can get very near that, if not complete that, through the 31-day challenge. So I'll be having nothing but meat and eggs for 31 days. Now, some people have asked, is it just red meat? It's any meat. I don't give a shit what it is. It could be red meat, it could be poultry, it could be pork, it could be seafood, it could be bison, it could be venison, it could be yak. I don't care. Just meat and eggs is the goal. And you want to obviously try to find clean, unprocessed, pastured, grass-fed versions of these meats as much as humanly possible. That's going to be the ideal way to do this. So nothing but meat and eggs for 31 days. And I always love the way that makes me feel, and it kind of gets me refocused for the remainder of the year. So that's number one. Number two, no alcohol. I do occasionally enjoy a fine glass of bourbon or whiskey or scotch. I have a bar in my house. Currently, there's like 30 bottles of choice premium bourbon and whiskey, but I'll be having none of it for 31 days. Zero. Dry January, as they say. Alcohol is toxic. I don't give a shit who you are or what you think or what you've been told. There is absolutely zero redeeming qualities in terms of your health by consuming alcohol. It is toxic. Your body has to deal with it first. It puts everything else on hold. It makes everything in terms of benefit to the body, in terms of recovery, regeneration, repair, muscle building, fat loss, all of the things, sleep, which is critical, it disrupts all of it. So even when I am occasionally having a glass of bourbon or whiskey, I keep it to very small amounts on occasion, more as like a connoisseur, not like a raving drunk. Okay, so for 31 days, I'm going to go completely dry, no alcohol, and you will also be amazed if you do consume alcohol on occasion, how much better you will be at the end of that 31 days with zero alcohol. And I would also recommend, if you use any recreational drugs, I would abstain from all of it for the next 31 days. It's only going to make you a better person, period. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, I will be rucking every single day for 31 days. Today is January the 2nd. Yesterday I rucked. Today I'm about to ruck, and I'm going to do it every single day for 31 days. You're thinking, that's a lot of rucking and cardio. Well, first of all, it did surprise me a little bit that in all the questions that I mentioned, that a lot of people were completely unfamiliar with just what the hell rucking is. And very quickly, it's just basically, or not basically, it's exactly walking with weight on your back. Think of the military. They do a ton of rucking to prepare them for being in the theater of war, to be on the battlefield, to be war fighters, carrying all of their gear on their back. And they have to build up the ability and the capacity to be able to be in very dynamic terrain and very tough dynamic conditions, while being shot at, in the extremes of climate, depending on where they are, with a lot of weight on their back. And in the military, it could be in the upwards of 80, 90 pounds or more, depending on who that person is. So rucking is a major part of the military building warfighter process. And now in the civilian world, we can benefit from that same activity. So it's just putting weight on your backpack, in your backpack, or having a weighted vest. I have a dedicated rucksack from a company called Ruck. They make the absolute best equipment on the planet for rucking. It is a dedicated pack built specifically for rucking. So you can put weight plates in the pack. It's built for that. The weight plates are higher and up against your back, distributing the weight just right. So it's a little more comfortable. It's got these nice beefy straps, and the damn things are freaking bulletproof. You could take one and drag it behind a truck, for miles, and then just hose it off and put it back on your back, and it's going to function just fine. So they're extremely well made. They're a little pricey, but they're worth every damn penny. I have two. I have a 20 liter and a 25 liter, and I absolutely love them, and that's what I use. But if you don't want to make that investment now, totally get that. Just find somewhat of a sturdy backpack, add a bunch of weight to it, and go. How much weight, you ask? Generally, a good guideline is 20% of your body weight. That's a good guideline. Now, if that's too difficult out of the gate, then just find a reasonable weight and then just build up as you get through the 31 days. But you're going to do something with a rucksack on for 31 days. So what I do, very, very quickly, 4 of those ruck workouts are going to be roughly in the 45 minute to 1 hour range at moderate to higher intensity, always outside, regardless of the conditions, because we're trying to make you a badass. So rain, shine, snow, sleet, blistering heat, it doesn't matter. I'm outside on dynamic terrain in the environment while I'm rucking. So 4 of those are just going to be 45 minutes to an hour. Now, another one of those is going to be my long ruck, and that's generally always 10 miles or more. Obviously, I'm going to reduce the pace, maybe even reduce the weight a little bit, and lower the intensity, but I'm going to increase the duration to really work on my aerobic capacity. So then another one of my rucks, I'm going to do a conditioning workout within the ruck. Now, this ruck is usually only about 30 minutes, but while I'm out on the course, I will occasionally stop on the ruck and do ruck strength training or ruck conditioning training, or what you might call a HIIT workout. So I might be out on a ruck and then I might stop abruptly and I might do like 10 ruck push-ups and 25 ruck squats and ruck lunges, and I may fall on my back and hold the ruck static over my chest and do flutter kicks for 30 seconds, stuff like that, and then get back up, throw the ruck on, and keep going, and just keep repeating that process for roughly 30 minutes. So I turn a ruck into also a HIIT or conditioning workout, which is pretty badass. And then another one of my rucks is going to be a recovery ruck, where it's going to be 20, 30 minutes, easy pace. I might take my Great Dane Mabel with me, walk the dog. That's a recovery workout, but I'm ultimately going to be doing 31 consecutive rucks, and you will be amazed at the level of strength, conditioning, and just total resilience that you will gain if you adopt rucking into your training lifestyle. So rucking is the next one. After that, 100 push-ups a day. Yes, that's right. And some people lost their damn minds, got their panties all in a bunch, saying 100 push-ups a day, I can't do. It doesn't matter. It's scalable. But I promise you, if you're tough enough, mentally and physically resilient, to push through this, you will gain massive benefit from this 100 push-ups per day challenge. Now, you can alter or scale the push-ups. So what I might do with one of my clients in my gym, I might put a barbell waist high or knee high, depending on the client, onto a rack and have them do push-ups off that. So it's elevated, so it reduces some of the resistance of the push-ups and makes it a little bit more doable. I mean, if you're completely deconditioned, but you still want to scale this challenge, you could do a wall push-up if you had to. That's fine. So, and I'll even do push-up variations. Sometimes I do them declined, sometimes I do them, elevated, sometimes I'll do them with the elbows tucked in, do a little bit more tricep work. Sometimes I'll do it with the elbows more at 45 degree to activate more pectoral. So either way, I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day. And obviously, you can break it up. So when you sit down to do your 100 push-ups, you might do, 10 or 12, rest a minute, do another 10 or 12, rest a minute, do a handful more, rest a couple minutes, do a handful more until you complete 100. Or if this is challenging for you, no problem, break it up throughout the entire day. So you may wake up and start your day with 10 push-ups, and then an hour or two later, do 10 more, and then an hour or two later, do a handful more, and then by the end of the day, you got your 100 push-ups in. And you're really going to start to see the benefit of this. Yes, you might be sore. Who gives a shit? This is a challenge. We're trying to make you more tempered, resilient, strong, and engage in total, utter badassery. And that you will achieve after this 31-day Burn the Ships challenge. So 100 push-ups a day, scalable, break them up, whatever it takes, just get the shit done, okay? No excuses, no bullshit, just do it. And then lastly, I'm still going to be making sure that I engage in my typical 4-day strength training split, and I will, under no circumstances, miss a workout. So I do a body part split 4 days a week, focusing on different body parts with a hypertrophy styled workout protocol, which I'll be discussing in a later chapter of this series, where I'm pushing sets to failure. I'm keeping the workouts short and intense and really focusing on preserving and building muscle mass. And again, more resiliency and more of a tempered body to be able to handle anything that might cross my path. So there you go. There's the Burn the Ships challenge. It is doable. You can do this. Anybody can do this. I've got 70-year-old clients that can do a version of this challenge. No bullshit. I'm not kidding you. So that's the challenge. So again, I inserted this in and made it chapter 2 because what a better way to move through the Unstoppable at Any Age video series than to embark on this challenge first, get you in the right mindset, and prepare yourself for the best year possibly that you've ever had. And it may completely alter the course and trajectory of your life and truly make you unstoppable at any age. So there it is. That's your challenge. And I know you might be watching this on the 3rd or 4th of January, whenever I get the damn thing uploaded. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be within January. It's just 31 straight days. So if you find this video on the 5th of January, the 10th of January, or the 15th of February, it doesn't matter. If you're ready to get shit done and change your life, just start today, start tomorrow, and cover 31 consecutive days doing the Burn the Ships challenge exactly as prescribed. And you will, yes, to beat a poor little dead horse, unstoppable. So glad you're here. It's great to be back in 2025. Lots of cool content coming. I'm super stoked and excited about this. Hope you are having a spectacular new year out of the gate. And stay tuned. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the little notification bell, because more videos are coming now that we got through all this holiday bullshit and I finally have some time to get my ass back to work and get some content prepared for all you lovely, wonderful people out there. So God bless, Happy New Year, and I will see you on Chapter 3.